Okay. So basically, it's a small. It has all the files, and it's a small index file which you can open, and that will give you links to the videos as well as the scripts. So I had. So we can just you can look at it at some point. I think what would be interesting is how to import. This would be interesting. What are the different ways we import in Python, and what is the limitation of one versus the other? But today we will mostly be focusing on plotting. Yeah? How do you plot things? How do you make sine waves? How do you sample waves and things like that? So, yeah, Bhagyalakshmi, you already have the setup, right? I've also started mine. Um, I hope I have it. Is this the problem you also have, Bhagyalakshmi? Yeah, we need that.
Yes, Sanjeev.
Okay, so let's fix that first, because otherwise we can't really run. We have a special setup like Puri for the Run IDE. It's a virtual environment, right? I'm not sure if you're all used to virtual environments, but they allow you to run multiple versions of Python. And we have one, I guess. How do I set up my virtual environment? Bit too much. I shouldn't have done all this. Okay, anyway, I'm in the virtual environment. Okay, so if you don't have matplotlib in your path, you should install matplotlib in your path, because without it, of course, it won't work. The usual command to install it is the command called pip. So if you're unfamiliar with it, then you can look it up. I'll also make a note. So basically, you need to do this. You need to pip install matplotlib. So then you have the plotting library in your path. You should have plotting library in your path. So let's see if that works for us. When I can, of course, just do Python here. Yeah, so it's there now. Okay, so let's see if I just run my IDE again. So is there anyone here not familiar with installation and uninstallation using pip? Wait, who all are on the call? Let's see. There's an M. Is that Madhavan? Madhavan, are you the M?
Yes.
Okay, so then
Hello.
all of you know how to work with pip, right?
Sanjeev, I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, pip is a command that allows you to install new packages. Okay, so it is
Okay.
part of the basic installation, uninstallation of packages that are needed in Python that you can use.
Hmm.
So it's fairly simple as I might have closed it already. Okay, but I mean any version of Python will have a pip. So if you use, say I get an Ubuntu shell, right? And if you have any version of Python, so if you have Python in if it has Python, then it will have pip. One of the default comes along with Python. And so if I guess I do something like that, see what all you can do, right? So, so it's giving you the help, the things you can do. You can install packages, which is what we did. Let's say you didn't want a package, which is strange, but let's say you wanted a newer package and for some reason you weren't able to upgrade it or something like that, then you can uninstall the package in download feed, search, all kinds of things you can do if you are looking for the right kind of package. Yeah? So that's the functionality of pip.
Hmm.
Okay, so basically I've installed it. So I guess now I hope it's there. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so now the script that we are running would work. This is similarly there are other packages that usually use like numerical Python. Yeah, that's already installed. Okay, so if you don't have matplotlib, use your pip and install your matplotlib. And so now that we have it, we should be able to use any of the files that are there in that small, like in this, let's see which ones. So plotting, right? So I should be able to basically get this to work. I can create a new file. Okay. So I guess I was simply trying to get people comfortable with lists. So this is really not needed. Most of you know all this. So let's start with creating a signal. Yeah. So let's start with a simple signal. Let's just have an x-axis. So x-axis is 1 to 10. In this case, 0 to 9. And y-axis is square of x, right? So, oh, anyway, I'm not even using it, right? Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's delete that. So I'm using the numerical Python, which has arrays and all, which are much faster than the lists that we use in regular Python. So, so that's what I'm doing. I'm importing NumPy, and I'm creating a range from 0 to 5 in steps of 0.1. This could be seconds. I can think of it as seconds, 0 to 5 seconds in steps of 0.1. So that's what this does. Yeah. So if I type a, because just like range, it won't reach 5. It will be 1 less than 5. Yeah, 1 step less than 5. And so I guess I'm just saying what it can do, but it's not necessary. Oh, this thing works a little differently than, so arrays work a little differently than lists. And I think that's what this is trying to demonstrate. So if you do an operation on an array, it does it on every element of the array. I guess, or I'm not sure if that's what it's doing. Maybe not. It's just multiplying it by 2. It's multiplying each element by 2. Yeah. If you say a and 2 times a, it's not a square, it's just 2 times. So that's, in a way, this is different. Arrays are different from lists, in that automatically you are working on each element. Okay, you operate on each element. Is not what happens at list, right? In list, you need to do list comprehension if you want it to operate on every element of list. But arrays, you can just use as if it's a variable and it actually does it for every element of it. So if you see here in the side, you can see that I should have probably written it as 2a, but 2 times a, but it doesn't matter. I had a, which is an array. And when I did 2 times a or a times 2, each element became twice. And I think most of you know that this is not what will happen if I did it with a list. It will just make the list double, twice the length. So what is the advantage of using this? One advantage of using arrays is now I can write functions on top of it. So in this case, I have basically done a sine wave. So I have done a sine wave. When I do a sine wave, it becomes a sine wave of that array, which was the x-axis. So that's kind of pretty neat and powerful, right? So that's what we are doing here. And so I'm getting a sine wave. Now let's see what is the frequency of the sine wave, or whatever. What are we doing with the sine wave? So I have a, I have divided it by 5, and I multiplied it by 2 pi. Okay, so when I multiply something by 2 pi is 1 period. Mathematically, I mean, you have a circle. So if I have things in radians, I have a circle, and this is 90 degrees, and 90 degrees is what angle in radians?
Pi by 2.
Pi by 2, right? So this is pi by 2. This angle becomes pi. And if you go all round, it becomes 2 pi. So, well, I don't know, maybe now that I see, okay. I don't know if everyone knows what a sine wave is. Okay, I know that you all know in trigonometry what sine is. Wait, I was working with Kalai and I know she's on the call. Kalai, can you unmute yourself? Okay, so you can imagine, okay, you don't need to imagine. I'm going to erase all this. Where is that? Here are all my drawings. And I'm going to draw a circle because it's there is one of the pictures. There you go. Okay. Because it doesn't have a center, which I'm going to have to imagine. No problem. So if I have a circle and I have a circle of radius 1. Okay. So if I look at a right angle triangle, radius is 1, it's a right angle triangle. What is sine of theta in this? Which side is sine of theta? Kalai, still there? Yeah, you're there. So opposite side or adjacent side, sine theta? Okay, I'm going to call this opposite, I'm going to call this adjacent. Now, sine of theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse, which in this case is just 1, right? Radius is 1. So the radius is 1, then sine theta itself is opposite side. And cos theta itself is adjacent side. Yeah? So many of you may remember that there are these things called sine waves. And how do the sine waves come? When you have a motor that is spinning in a circle, then the distance from the magnet is the vertical distance or the horizontal distance. So it keeps getting close to magnet and moving away from magnet, and close to magnet and moving away from magnet. And that actually creates this sinusoidal wave. So generators will create sinusoids. Okay, and that's what we are doing here. So what we have done here is we basically said 2 pi is 1 period, which means one cycle of a sine wave should be 2 pi. That's the angle it goes through. So if I multiply whatever it is by 2 pi, I'm going to get 5 periods. That was the idea. Now, I have divided a by 5. A means each value of a I have divided by 5. and I multiplied by 2 pi, and then I'm doing sine of that. You can see all this would have been very miserable to do in something like list with Python, in which you have to do list comprehension for this. But with arrays, you don't need to do list comprehension. You just apply whatever function you have directly on the array, and it will create the output array. So that's what we are doing here. And then we are basically plotting it. So let's see what happens if I run this. I need to save it. Okay. Figures now render in the plots pane by default. Wonderful. Is there another pane?
No, Sanjay, it will there in the spider.
Yeah, but I can't see it here either. No?
Plot. Here, plot.
What should I do? Plots.
Plot.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's what we got. Okay. Because I scaled this down, I scaled phi down by 5. And so I got one plot. But if I wanted 5 waveforms, I should have just multiplied it with 2 pi. Done. Then I would have got 10 pi. Total length is 10 pi, which means I would have had sine wave going many times. That's right. Yeah, something like that. Seems to be clipping. Maybe not enough points. Let's put a lot of points. Ah, yes. That looks like a nice sine wave. Yeah. So let's slow down and let's talk about what you may not have understood in this. How did I get 5 periods of a sine wave and things like that? Oh, this is nice. It's showing all the old plots also. That's not bad. It's pretty nice. Okay. So questions. What is there anything you didn't understand? You have some doubts? Would you like to do it? Would you like me to pause so you can do it and so on? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So the period of this is 0.2 again to repeat, and we want to change it to, let's say, a 1 kilohertz signal I want to show, and I want to show 10 cycles. So I want to show 1 kilohertz is 1 millisecond, as Vasant said, and I want 10 cycles, so 10 milliseconds. So let's just go ahead and change the
Mm.
the 5 seconds to 10 milliseconds. Yeah. So that's the x-axis, right?
10 milliseconds.
A is the x-axis. So let's say we change
Yes.
to use exponent. No, don't use zero. We are engineers, not mathematicians. Yeah. Okay. So 10e minus 6 is fine. Yeah, 1e minus 5. That's 1
Four.
microsecond. We want 10 milliseconds. So 10
Milliseconds.
milliseconds. Yeah. Okay. So that gives us x-axis. Don't run. Relax.
Okay.
Relax. Long way to go. Okay. So that's 10 seconds. Yeah. But what we expect is we want to get 10 periods in this, right? This should result in 10 periods. Right now it won't. Right? So what should I really be doing? Right? This is my t. So this is why we have 2 pi FCT. If anyone remembers, is the phase. I need to multiply by FC. That's all should come here. 2 pi is there already. That's okay. A is there already. That is T. If you want, you can change the A to T. So it's very obvious to us A is time. So let's just do that. Yeah. Yeah. That's also T. And you delete these two lines so that they don't give us errors. Okay. So I have my 2 pi. I have 2, I have pi, I have T not in the same order. Why don't you put it in the same order? So put the 2 in the front, then put multiply by pi, then multiply by, let's call it FC, my new variable called FC, and then T. So
Is
in the
this
same
okay?
order.
2 pi t. Okay.
Now, we are, human beings are visual creatures, so you need to write it the same way.
Yes. I think
Okay,
it's okay.
so if I usually have sign off, if you see in any text, 2 pi FCT, and let's try to understand what the hell this means. Most of you have written this and I think most of you don't know what it means. So let's find out what it means. So T we have 2 pi. So I need a new variable called frequency. So can you put a variable times FC? Yeah, and you can say FC is 1000, that's fine. Why FC? Okay,
Okay.
just call it F. It's fine, F is frequency. FC usually is because it's a carrier frequency, it doesn't matter. Let's just say F. No problem. So F is 1000,
What?
right? We said 1 kilohertz signal, so 1000. That's it. This should actually give me a 1 kilohertz signal plotted on a scale up to 10 milliseconds. So it should give me 10 periods. This is what I would expect. Let's remove this R dot dot. It's okay. It doesn't need to be a dashed line. We just remove it. It will automatically come out in some color. Let's see what the default is. Yeah. Save it. I think the last line I'm not sure is needed. Is it? Perhaps. So save it somewhere. Okay, so now let's run it.
It's not. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you still have A somewhere for some reason. Yeah, okay, that's right. T. So, what happened? What happened? Okay, maybe you need to give a color. Let's just see what happened. So why don't you type B in the terminal?
Yeah.
Just type B. Let's see what it has. Ah, something went wrong. Yeah, of course. In that time step, you are not going to get anything. You need a much smaller time step. In steps of, you want 1 millisecond, you at least need 100 points. So let's say 10 microseconds or something. Then you'll get 1,000 points within that. No, 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 no. So what was the problem? Okay, let's just stop. Now you have to, you can't work without thinking. Okay, just stop. When you start doing things that are really foolish, it means it's not making sense. Just stop. What is the first value?
Starting
Yeah, what is the last value?
last this one.
What is second value?
Yes. It's less than 0.
No, this is start. What is this?
End.
No,
It's the
what is
end.
it? What is it meant to be? This is the stop.
Should be gray. Yes.
No, this is start. This is stop. This is step.
Yes.
The step is so large, you're not getting any steps.
0.001.
Yeah, no, not 0.001. Okay, you need to give a step. First, in engineering convention, Madhavan, please learn engineering convention, not 0.00 nonsense. Okay. 0.001 is simply 1 millisecond, nothing
1 second.
points. Okay, you won't be able to make out anything. All right. So let's get a lot of points. Okay, let's get points. So make it 1000 times smaller than this, which is 10 microsecond. Okay, so make the step on. So we can see the waveform nicely. Why 1e minus 6? That's too much. 10e minus 6 enough. Okay, what do you think E means? Because you're writing this 1e again and again. 10e minus 6 is equivalent to 1e minus 5.
Yes.
Okay, it does not mean 10 to the power of. It means something multiplied
Yes.
by 10 to the power of. E means 10 to the power of. It doesn't mean the first element's 10. Is it clear?
Yes.
If you want, yeah, you can do that. Okay, first plot. And there you go. So you managed to get a 1 kilohertz signal over 10 milliseconds. And it looks like a very clean signal. So the default color is blue and the default shape of the line is continuous. No dots, no dashes, continuous line. Is this clear? Yeah. So my question was, in sampling theorem, when we do sampling, what is aliasing? When do we say a signal is aliased? Right? So let's actually sample the signal. And now let's do what Madhavan said. Okay. I'm going to take, it's a small frequency. I'm going to take how many points? Let's decide what frequency we're going to sample. Let's say I'm going to sample at 5 kilohertz. Okay. For those of you who don't know what sampling is, it just means 5 kilohertz is we did 1 kilohertz. 5 kilohertz is frequency equal to 5 kilohertz. This time is 1 by 5 kilohertz, which is 0.2 milliseconds. So every 0.2 milliseconds, we will capture a point. Again, those of you who remember pictures in your, this is what the sampling part would have looked like. Yeah. So question is, how do we plot it? And we'll figure that out. Okay. Keep the signal as it is, and let's only get some of these points. Now you know how to do that. Right? You have an array and you want to get every nth point, right? So I have, right now, how many points did I have? Right now I had loads of points. I had 10 milliseconds divided by 1e minus 5, right? So this is the period of sampling. That's what is such a nice tight signal. So 1e minus 5, 1 divided by 1e minus 5. Those of you who are finding the math hard, told you 100 kilohertz. Yeah. This was in seconds, 1 divided by that seconds. Second was in the denominator, became 100 kilohertz. So a sampling frequency is 100 kilohertz, very high. Now we just want 5 kilohertz. So 5 kilohertz is 2 milliseconds. Okay. So create one more waveform. Let's call this T sample, TS. Okay, and in this, the same thing, but with this period, which means with this step. So NPA range all same, starting point same, but step is 0.2 milliseconds. Why? Wait. What are you doing? Okay, I just said starting point same. Yeah, okay, fine. Leave it the same. Bhagyalakshmi, I understand that you can process it in your head, but it makes it harder for people to be able to see it. Yeah. Let it be. Okay. Now 0.2, you write 0.2 e minus 3. That's it. So you know it's 0.2 milliseconds. Not 1.2, ma, 0.2.